Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Welcome, everybody, to the subscribers only chat, which is the chance for subscribers to talk to me in the chat and read. I read your questions and I'll answer them in a timely manner. That way, everybody comes out of it feeling okay, which is what I do. So it makes it easier for everybody. Well, we have not seen any difference yet with the continuing resolution and the government at this point. However, late breaking news came up that Noodles at Oktoberfest one of the vendors got upset with him and kind of created problems with him and his phone, and accordingly, supposedly his phone was damaged. How it was damaged, I do not know. We don't have any details about after in the clip that we saw today. So if you want to see that clip, I do have it here. I will put it up on this because it's one of those late breaking things that just kind of shows up. And let me pull it up here. You should have to get it in the wrong one here. So we'll put this piece on. Let me just get this queued up right because it came in the last minute, ladies and gentlemen. So this is from Noodles channel. Apparently, I guess the guy got upset with Noodles, maybe because of Noodles filming content, which he does tend to do. Oh, it's perfect. It's already queued up. Awesome. Let's get this started on the screen here. So here's the clip in question. I really think it's kind of scary, but oh well, it just happened. So let's get this on the playlist so you can see this. So let's listen to this.
Excuse me, sir. You can go talk to the police over there. They said it's fine. I can do this. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Go talk to them. Go talk to them. Go talk to them. Come on, I'll go with you.
I don't know why you're starting the problem.
What's starting a problem with you? I don't want to start a problem with you. I went over there and I told him you were yelling at me.
Oh, I was.
You were acting irate.
Okay, if I get irate, you go to the hospital.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? You're gonna say that again? Don't touch me.
Oh shit!
What?
That's all we know about it so far.
All right. So he just broke my property. Okay. I want to press charges against this guy.
Okay. I asked the guy if he would buy.
You saw it.
He said yes. Okay. I said, can you do me a favor? I'm the student. Have our pictures.
Oh, grab my stuff again. Grab it again.
Let me just answer here.
Holy shit.
So that's all we know right now about what happened. We don't have any other details. We don't know why it happened, but we just know it did happen. So apparently, Noodles unfortunately started filming, and that's all we know about it. We don't know how, when the guy told Noodles to stop, if he told him to stop, or anything like that. It's kind of like what happened at the Renaissance Fair. Except it didn't say anywhere, signs posted anywhere, no filming. So we don't know what started the initial confrontation. But, oh well. So just be aware of that. I don't have the details of why it happened, how it happened. I just know what I see here, and I suppose that vendor is going to be having to deal with the fact is now he may be required to repair what was damaged. It was all live. I know it was live. Of course, Noodles always does everything live. Sound like he videotaped anything. You know he doesn't videotape nothing. But that was the part. That was a clip that was posted on my Discord. So that's all I have. So, what else? Anyone else that knows more details about it? Maybe they could give me fill in the blanks here. Sounds like Noodles covered his faces ahead of time and asked the police if he could film. Okay, so he did, but I guess the vendor didn't want him filming. Maybe the vendor certainly did not like the fact that he was on camera. And then he looked over his shoulder, saw he was in the frame of the camera, and decided that he wanted to take the camera out of the phone out of the picture, not realizing that the thing was actually going streamed live. Noodles got permission to record. Okay, I got that. The one vendor told him to stop and erase the footage. Noodles walked away. Then the guy threatened him to knock the phone out of his hands. Yeah, but Noodles also, when he walked away from the vendor, said, "Don't talk to me, don't talk to me, don't talk to me, don't talk to me." And so just said, "I asked for permission ahead of time." And I would have said to the vendor nicely, "Look, if you, I did ask the police department or the organizer if I could film this. They said fine. If you have a problem, please discuss it with them." I think that that's what I would have done differently. But okay. Anyway, so apparently Noodles got a cracked screen out of the deal. I think it sounded like he cracked the screen. Another phone bites the dust. Another phone bites the dust. Hey, hey. Another phone bites the dust. Actually, my phones, I have never cracked the screen on my phone. I've scratched my screens pretty good, but I never cracked them. He cracked the phone case. Oh, okay. So the screen's fine, but his phone case got cracked. Wait, didn't he have his phone in a case? Are you saying that he could see that the phone case was cracked after he took it out of the case? Or does he just use the phone without a case? Okay. So I suppose that the vendor is going to end up being indicted for. Oh, then I don't know. Yes, he did. Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah, absolutely. He could have quietly walked back to his stand and said, "Okay, you talked to an organizer. I guess I can't really complain, but could you please not show my face on video or something?" I mean, as I said, I didn't see the whole thing, as in like from the very beginning, from when he got there to the time he left. I didn't see that part. Okay, I just saw that one segment there, so I don't have all the details, and that's kind of where Noodles did not press charges. Right. Probably because pressing charges would have been worth more trouble than it was worth. Well, at least the good news is it's not raining right now. Yeah, it's not raining right now, so that's good news for me. It's dry right now, and obviously it wasn't raining when he was out there either. So, well, you know what? The thing is I've always told Noodles that one day, even if you get permission, somebody's not going to like that filming. And by the way, from what a little I saw there, it didn't look like there was very many people there at Oktoberfest. I don't know if that was just the vendor section for food vendors, but it didn't seem like much of an Oktoberfest. Where's the beer? Where's the beer? There was no beer at that place, not at that location anyway. Where's the dancing? Wasn't any there right there either. Probably if there was a beer garden, there probably was further in more inland inside the exhibition. So I'm just glad Noodles is okay. Um, so that's one reason I don't really shoot video live like that, because I don't want to have something similar happen to me with my phone. Um, Never mind the fact that I'm walking with my walker. I used to have the phone stand in my walker, and it rattled my phone camera to death. Now, if I was using an iPhone 3GS, it wouldn't matter because iPhone 3GS camera does not have autofocus. It just has a fixed focus lens. And then it wouldn't matter because there's no very, very teeny, delicate parts inside to break. I'm getting Chinese food across the street, Michelle. Okay. Well, I might do the same thing. Maybe not tonight. I am going to make some rice for dinner, I think. There's only 300 calories in a 1 cup of rice. And I got a rice cooker, so I'll just probably make 2 cups of rice and enough to. My rice cooker can hold about. That's enough rice there for quite a few days of meals. And it's here tomorrow. So this is a members only stream. I want to say welcome to the new person that's up here, which is Y2Fan88. Welcome to being a member. Appreciate you being here. It's just a chance for the subscribers. This is the subscribers only chat, which includes members, of course, and moderators. And the only way we do this is once in a while is a lot of times the morning shows, like this morning was no exception. I was so busy focusing, listening on the panel that unfortunately I didn't read all the side chat. And so I'm sure there was a lot of frustrated people going, "Oh, come on, we're trying to type at you. You haven't made your questions." I thought I was trying for first 10 Chinese food. Go on. I like the chicken stir fried rice, and I do like the vegetable fried rice. I like the vegetable fried rice. The chicken stir fried or beef fried rice is good too. Last night I had chicken patties and chicken nuggets with chips for dinner, and that was okay. There were some chicken nuggets that were in the freezer left over from Ed that we just got. I had to finish them up. There's still some left for today. The chicken make with the fried or with the boiled rice from my rice cooker, and it's microwavable. I could throw them in the microwave as well and cook something up that way. Steak chips, big steak chips. That's the British word for fries. The big long ones, you know. I don't got many left. Just get some, but you don't get many for a bag. You got enough. You got enough for tonight anyway, because tomorrow's food stamp day! Yay! Okay, yes, tomorrow is food stamp day for me anyway. Krista, if you want, tomorrow you and I can do a combined Instacart order if you want to send me some cash into my debit card or something, then maybe we can, or some way we can get you some groceries too for the house. I don't have a lot of food stamps, so unfortunately, not a bag of French fries. That's because in the United States we tend to call them French fries, but they're in the UK. They're called chips. But either way, it's frozen. It's frozen. You put them in the oven for 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 25 minutes, and then they're usually ready to eat. So don't overcook them because then they turn hard, and then nobody wants to eat. I couldn't figure out a way to cook it. Gemini Jim, I basically am very loyal to the UK. I was born here, but I have friends in the UK. I have friends. It was Tiger Kitty's one of my friends. Mojo's another one of my friends. We tend to have a lot of dialogue, and we use both terminologies in both countries back and forth. As far as why we call them chips or French fries, and they call them chips. Well, it turns out the chips are really more than just French fries. They also are fried potato chunks. Now, that's another kind of chip they call, what sounds like chips, right? Chop them the potatoes and deep fry them. Like scalloped potatoes. No, not scalloped potatoes. Fried potatoes, like my mom used to make. Brown. They usually use like for breakfast. Okay. That's right. I forgot that. Yeah, you get yours on the 3rd of the month. I get mine tomorrow. Because I was saying, this is if we got Instacart to come up to one house and we got an order that was big enough, then the service charge and stuff could easily be divided among 2 or more people. But right now I only food stamps I can put on the one system is mine. But it would be very interesting if one day, don't hold your breath, one day maybe it would be possible to combine multiple food stamps together. If there was, me and Ed would have done that many times. In fact, they call them crisps. 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 They call them crisps. Which makes sense when you think about it. Now, since we're not looking at the questions, I just had the headphones on because I wanted to make sure I heard the whole story clearly the first time, so I didn't have to worry about just listening to the closed captions. We all know that the closed captions, unfortunately, are not exactly meticulously perfect with YouTube. They are fairly good, but they do mess up. And we do have potato crisps in the United States. Pringles, potato crisps, which are turned out to be usually made out of potato flakes, pressed, flattened, and fried, or baked. Because I do have baked potato crisps as well as fried. Yeah, so I don't know how much time I don't know how long we're gonna be at. Let's stay on for about an hour because I figure that's about good enough. I think most of the topics will cover pretty much by then because we already had the morning show. So the main thing is that as far as the government shutdown thing, I'm gonna say one more thing about that. They have not yet, at the time I'm checking this before it came on, they did not yet come up with a plan yet to cover the continuing resolution. They have not come up yet. Right now, the proposed Republican CR has failed its vote in the House. And so they are now working on another plan, which is more of a general bipartisan plan to get a CR for 45 days. 45 days is not a long time. My personal view is this. Why can't you just come up with a something that works as a 6 months time period, But it sounds like McCarthy doesn't want to do 6 months. He wants to do 45 days so they can come up with an honest-to-God real federal budget. If they manage to do that and get a continuing resolution, and they got 45 days to get a balanced budget going, good luck. I don't think they're going to get a balanced budget. I don't think they're going to get a budget that everybody likes. After all, however, this might interest you. Nikki Haley has a lot of has a lot of supporters of the Democratic Party right now. She pointed out that while President Trump was trying to have good relations with China and trade, he never discussed the reality that China was buying American farmland over in this country and American properties at large. He was not focused on the trade. He didn't seem to say to them, whoa, wait. Why are you buying American farmland and why are you buying all of our American assets? That's not fair trade. He didn't talk about that. Well, that's a good question. Nikki Haley brought this up. Also, we're going to make sure. Actually, I'll make sure I'm not getting mixed up with the other guy. Vivek DeSantis said this. DeSantis said, we're going to shut down fentanyl on both the U.S. and the Chinese system. We're going to shut fentanyl imports into the United States down that is coming illegally over from China. Which is a great idea. Ron DeSantis, if you can make it happen. But I don't know how well that's going to work. I wish I could say it was going to work. I don't know. Yeah, they do. Which, in a way, is actually fairly accurate, what they call them, right? But I suppose, like a lot of languages, as English, as American English terminology has become fairly common in the UK. You can say, I like an order of fries with that Coke, and they will know what you're talking about. So yeah, you say that in America, they're gonna go say, what? You want chips with your Coke? I don't have any chips over here. You're gonna have to go to the convenience store to get it back of them. No. It's true. It's true. No. Potato chips in America are called crisps. Unless you're talking about Pringles. Those are called potato crisps. No, that's the correct use of the two terms. For the two different things. Chips and crisps. Just like the I don't know why that there's so much the word. They call them chips. Like potato chips. Or potato chunks. I'll call them potato chunks. Because you also got French fried potato pieces. Yeah, chocolate chunks. Why not have potato chunks? Because that's what they are. Fried potatoes that you can sometimes serve with your breakfast, home fries, sometimes known as home fries. It's just kind of strange, the different terminology that they use. Then they have a fairly appetizing meal they call Bubble and Squeak, which I have actually heard about it. And then they say, well, it's because it makes a bubbling and squeaking sound when it's cooking. What? Some of the food in the UK is really interesting titles. And then we got those like little candies, like those little Whitman sampler candies you see sometimes. They call them Cadbury makes something similar. They call them roses. That's why I didn't know what a rose was until I happened to see someone describe what the rose was in the Discord. Like, oh, they're like the Whitman samplers. Okay, I get it. The House passes 9-0. Now it goes to the Senate. Correct. And it's gonna have to pass the Democrats, even though it was past the House. So you know what the final score was? Do you know what the final score was for the House? White potato chips are just called crisps. Yeah. I don't know. What was the final score in the House? I mean, how close was it to passing or not passing as it is now for the House? I don't have my phone with me right now. My phone's in the bedroom charged. Keep them charged. They have till 11:59 p.m. to pass this continuing resolution, which is for 45 days. They have to get this passed by 11:59 p.m. Eastern time tonight. Because the 1st of October is the beginning of the fiscal year for the United States government. Which is very interesting. Because I don't know why it's such a weird thing, but that's what they do. 335 to 91. Woo! That's basically like, that's amazing. That's really good. That's really good. Definitely a clear victory. Absolutely great news for the House. Now, the Senate, however, might be a little more challenging. I have a gossip and rumor chat happening as I type. Go drop your gossip and rumor, and I will add just live tonight. Bianca, can you or I think I am subscribed to you. I don't know what time your show is going to be tonight. What time is the gossip and rumor channel show tonight? If I can make it, I don't know. I mean, I sometimes will come on panels. I need to know ahead of time. Go drop it, go man. I don't really have any rumors or gossip or something. I don't have any inside information right now. But I know that the original bill that McCarthy had planned just got defeated, like, big time. Okay. So now it's going to go to the Senate and it's going to pass 2/3 majority. Go figure that out. Because you said the gossip rumor chat happening as I type. Oh, okay. Oh, as we're happening. Okay. Which right now I'm live, so I can't go over there and type anything right now. But the main thing is that how well did the city of New York fare with all that rain? 6 or 7 West Coast. That's 6 or 7 West Coast. Subtract 3. 4 o'clock our time? 3 or 4 o'clock our time. Okay. Wait a minute. 3 or 4 o'clock. It is 3:27 my time now. I think you have to add 3 hours. 3 hours? Okay. 9, 10 o'clock at night. Okay. I can remember 9 or 10 o'clock at night. Okay. So 6, 9 or 10 o'clock. All right. I'll keep my eyes open on who's going live on my notifications. You are in my notifications. Now, anybody who is not a subscriber, this is your chance. Please note you have to subscribe in 10 minutes after you subscribe. You will be able to post a comment. I do welcome the trolls if they want to subscribe. They really want to. I'm not against the trolls subscribing. It would be nice if they do. But I do ask, can you do, trolls? please do respectfully understand that I do run a tight ship. I have no desire to have a lot of bad people, but HBC says, hi, how are you looking at? Just got here. Welcome to the show, HBC. I didn't even see you until now. Welcome to the show. MicheleMarieDalene, North American Snow Queen, coming at you live from the North American Snow Queen Palace studio. You're looking at the live scene of my rodent next to my house here, as I will temporarily switch out the screen so you can see. That's my other studio. Okay, right, switch. This is Winston. This is downtown Winston live. You can see it's overcast. It's not raining right now. There's the Chinese restaurant that Krista went and got some meals from. All right, there. You can probably see it there. Ocean Garden. They have Chinese food. Oh, okay. 10 p.m. Yeah, sleazy go live. Yeah. I don't really watch much of his content. I do know he's live, but later on at night. He does his movies. We didn't do one this month. We didn't do one this week. And the reason was that I didn't feel like doing a movie. I don't think Jason and the Argonauts would have done well. I think it may have, but maybe not. People don't really like watching movies on my channel. They don't like the movies I pick, even though they are usually classic films that tend to have some interest to some people. I just announced your attendance at Bianca's stream tonight, so please do make it. I will do my best, guys. Bianca can also DM me because she has my address to email me the StreamYards key, so I can actually make sure to remember when we're going to go live at her channel. So don't see why I couldn't. At 10 o'clock, I'm usually up anyway. Everybody's excited to see you there. Okay. Now, well, I'm wondering, oh, yes, by the way, I fixed the Firefox problem. I don't know how I ended up with such an old, decrepit Firefox browser. I got the new one now. So we're streaming with Firefox. And I got the Google Chrome in the other window so I could follow the other stuff. So, yeah. So, does anybody here have any questions that they would like to ask that maybe I missed earlier? Because I kind of got so sidetracked with the panels with Skynet and Paul that I may have missed a lot of questions. I know there was a lot of side chat going on, and I didn't really get a chance to watch all of it. I got a yellow stinking dollar sign, and that sort of sucks, but it's such a regular occurrence on here. It doesn't almost doesn't make any sense to even do these videos, live videos, with monetization on. But then again, even if you do monetization on anyway, the problem I have with the monetization is, well, how do you stick in the ads? I don't see a way to shove in ads in the Google webcam software. I can, obviously, but I don't really have any ads to stick in anyway. Even though I have monetization turned on, I don't really know if it's going to get anything. Tell me what some of the movie people reckon. I get to a situation where I have to download the films. So some of them are actually on YouTube with free with ads, which is fine. I don't mind that. But yeah, let me make sure, see if I got my green dollar sign on these live streams. I really do kind of like to have that because it makes my life easier. Even though I do not insert ads, I do like to have the green dollar sign. Nah. Not again. Yeah, okay, fine. Request review. Yes, when video meets requirements, there's no cursing, no shocking content, no nasty stuff. Yeah. So I don't know why they do that. I mean, I just do. Okay. That's one of the reasons why I don't really know if I'm gonna do too many premieres. Because I mean, Virgo Goddess points out that yes, some premieres work out great, but the problem is you can't get advertisements to run, even if you have them in your videos during the premiere, they're ad free. So that kind of sucks, you know. I think you'd like, yeah. Some people mentioned a few I did see. It's interesting. Then there's also, I also would like to find some older movies too, but I'm going to try to find some more movies for next week. So let's look at the realities here. We know the movie nights don't bring in a huge viewership. They don't. We are lucky enough when we get about 3 to 5 people and the live streams. And yeah, we temporarily had like 12 one day, and then it was like 5 minutes later, we're back down to 6. So it wasn't like a huge following of movie watchers. Silvermoon Radio tends to do a little better, and that's the absolute truth. Silvermoon Radio does better, I think. We do have the new Beach Boys album that Stan CT sent us. How you doing, Andrew S? I'm glad you got some sleep. This is just reading the side chat and talking to the side chat show. So the good news is now the people in the side chat are going to be able to have me answer their questions, because that's completely what I'm focused on right now, is answer your questions. And doing great was really needed. Yeah, I know. Yesterday I was yawning on the show really bad. This because I only had like 4 hours sleep yesterday, and so I was like kind of burning on exhaust fumes because I didn't take a nap the day before. That's like, oh, okay. But I did sleep yesterday night. I think I went to bed about 3, woke up at 6. Took care of a few quick things, like went to the bathroom, went back to bed, tumbled back to sleep from 7 to 10:30, and I woke up again, and I made some chicken patties and chips, and then was up until about 3, 4 in the morning, and then went back to bed, and then of course I got up at 8:00 this morning. Kind of didn't want to get up. I was like, oh, I got to do the show. It's kind of like the guy for the local donut company here, my area. Say, gotta make the donuts, gotta make the gotta do the live show, gotta do the live show. Hi ho material, gotta do the live show. So I couldn't sleep at all last night, really. Silvermoon Radio is a consistent thing, though. Movie night changes night and gets skipped a lot. Yeah, it is true. It is consistent. And that's one of the reasons why we do have a consistent schedule of programming, because it helps. That way people don't buy a sub, then they at least say, no, oh, Michelle, what time is it? Oh, it's 10 in the morning. Michelle's having live now. Yeah, yes, she is. Yay. Because I know that's what exactly where most of my people find the show. They brought us to my channel. And then, of course, the people that do subscribe do have notifications turned on. Obviously, to get notifications on live, and then they can decide they're going to come or not. And don't forget, live shows, we don't always know exactly when the show is going to start. So, we don't know what kind of topics we're going to cover. That's why I rarely ever say what the show is about. It says live, the date, NASQ Chill Zone, good morning, good evening, good night, whatever the case is. And then we have the topics of the day. I don't change the titles of the show afterwards most of the time, because it doesn't make any sense to. It doesn't make sense to. Because there's just too much. There's just too around. I know. I have to look through the suggestions. Tiger kidding. If I had a, I have to find a readily source of videos with closed captions or open captions. It makes my life a lot easier. I know MKBs often have the content captions, but I've also noticed that some MKV files, for some unknown reason, the volume, depending on who ripped the show, is really soft. And then I have to get in there and crank the volume up a lot. And that usually is okay. I know Fiddler on the Roof was once this video. It was so soft that I had to really turn up a lot to be clear. It was because it was such a wide dynamic range in the video. Which is a problem. I get bad reception in this Walgreens. Okay. Yeah. By the way, the FCC has said the ATSC 1.0 is now obsolete. It is now requiring all broadcasters to now go to ATSC 3.0 for the streaming program. So if you got an old clunker analog TV, you're going to have to deal with that of getting yourself a ATSC 3.0 box. And most of them only have HDMI connectors on them and not analog connectors. So, meaning you're going to have to use a HDMI to composite adapter, which I have. And then, of course, for people that don't even have a composite hookup, they're going to have to get an RF modulator on top of that so they can launch their old TV sets with analog capacity for the new ATSC 3.0 standard. The standard is just starting to show products that are being approved for ATSC 3.0. You'll also notice that the ATSC 3.0 signal on HDMI is not encrypted with HDCP. So, which means there's no copyright protection on the HDMI signal. But they do require that your ATSC 3.0 box has to be connected to the internet to get approved for watching the signal. I guess that's probably your subscribers to the channel or something. I'll catch you up to stocking. Okay. Yeah. By the way, one of the things is Walgreens is one of the pharmacies that has fallen into hard times, along with CVS. They may be going under. Rite Aid is already at the verge of going under. Target is suffering a lot because of shoplifting and shoplifting gangs that organize mobs that come in and ransack the place. This is so sad. However, the stores, almost all of them, have confirmed the problem is that these thugs are using the internet, social media to plan their looting operations. So it's just really sad to see that. It's just how a store is going to survive in the 21st century if they can't keep an eye on their produce and their products. Did you think about doing the classic cartoon, maybe like Saturday morning cartoons? Yeah, there are some YouTube channels that actually have them already kind of lined up. Actually, to feed a whole bunch of cartoons, I looked to see about finding a couple downloads of a couple gigabytes of cartoons. Only to find myself asking myself as what's the best place to queue them up. I did put the one on, I think it was Fast and Furious. That was played before one of the movies. I don't think that got a lot of reception, a lot of positive or negative, but just not a lot of people were interested. TV has a bunch of old cartoons. Correct. That's another channel. And this is Crackle. I get both on my computer. So By the way, for those of you who don't know, somebody pointed out an issue with SSD's longevity regarding the Chrome browser. That the Chrome browser will take all of your videos you've been watching and erases them, obviously, when you're done watching them. The problem is people are rightfully concerned that they're going to be destroying their SSDs on their new computers, particularly Macs, which have the SSD soldered to the board. I don't know if I'm going to really worry about that. This computer has been working reliably fine. I don't really watch a lot of live videos on this one. Once in a while I do, but not much. Krista says, "2BTB as much as I read that." So, by the way, Apple has said that they have decided to reduce the number of orders for the M3 and the latest iPhone chip using the 3 nanometer process, because they said people are now not working from home as much and nobody's really buying new computers. For those that have M1 Max or M2 Max, don't see any real justified cause to upgrade the machines. Well, first of all, Apple, you came up with a great chip. You came up with a great design. The M1 is certainly fast enough. Combine that with the NVMe's is a solder to your board that you have resulted in the machine that is extremely quick for the average everyday user. I do wish, Apple, that you didn't solder the chip to the board. The SSD should have been left in as a module, because they are a consumable part that will eventually wear out, and you will have to replace the said chip yourself. No, it is that I happen to was gifted a soldering rework station, so theoretically speaking, I can desolder my old SSD, remodel it, and put a new one on if I really want, assuming I can find a chip configuration that fits my case, which is questionable. Okay. My Chinese food is yummy. Yeah, what did you get, Krista? You probably didn't even see Krista was behind me. She was walking over there. My chair's in the way of the Chinese restaurant, which is right here. And you can see this. The one with the red roof was the one she went to. So, as far as someone's going out of business goes, yeah, that's a reality. I mean, they don't need the store, because I think most of the customers are just going online now. So yeah, Good Target needs to be closed down. They are run by woke people trying to trans against. Yeah, you know what though? Not all the Targets agreed to doing that. Not all the people on the Target's board of directors thought it was a great idea. But it was kind of a thing that they did, and now they're suffering. And but it's the shoplifting and the shoplifting mobs, flash mobs, that are really scary. Walmart, Target, and Walmart. I must bring up Walmart and Walgreens in New York City. And Walgreens has frozen pizza under lock and key, which is absolutely scary. The people that go on there in their freezers and they swipe pizzas, and then they don't bother to pay for them. So the management now has to keep so much of the store products under lock and key. It's sad. However, it was long ago, before Piggly Wiggly invented the shopping that we all know today. That used to be where you got your food. You would go to the shopkeeper. He would ask you what you want. You would tell him. He'd go behind the counter. He'd give it to you, and he'd pay for it right there on the spot. And he would test your money to make sure it's real. They did the acid test to make sure it was real silver or gold or silver coin. I had forgotten all about Target stores. They were huge when I was over there as a kid. I mean, yeah, they are huge. They still are. The thing is, that's another liability for any store, is the bigger the space, the bigger the rent. And the bigger the rent, it means a bigger expense because you need to hire more employees, especially if you're worried about flash mobs of looters coming into your store. It costs a lot of money to run one of those big stores. Like even the Target in Torrington is huge. This is as big as our Walmart. So, and what do they do with the stuff they steal? They fence it. They have so they get like 100% profit on it. You know, it's really sad. But I really think that Walmart itself is having problems too. They're not doing good. The stores are not doing good in a lot of areas, especially high crime ones, where like in Portland, Oregon, they shut down all the Walmarts because they couldn't make any money anymore because everybody was robbing them. So they decided to just close the stores and just write them up as a loss. Which meant a lot of people that we worked there lost their jobs because they didn't need any more workers because everything was moved out of Portland, Oregon, and Seattle, Washington. So that's not good at all. The big stores, Target and Walmart, say that they're important to the community. It's very true because after they drove a lot of the small mom and pops out of business, they were the only places left that you could get certain things, and those things are no longer going to be sold by mom and pop merchants anymore, like appliances, or which is being sold by Lowe's and Home Depot, to TVs and electronics, which is sold by Walmart, Target, and several other larger chains. There really is no market anymore for mom and pop appliance stores. It's just reality how the market has changed in such a way that once these big guys go, remember the old expression, too big to fail, or more precisely, too big to allow to fail? Well, once they do fail, there's going to be a lot of people wondering what they're going to do to get replacements of things that they need every day. Of course, you can do online shopping. Walmart is trying to adapt to that. And Target is also has an online presence, as does almost every other store, including many stores that you wouldn't think would have an online presence. For example, Aldi's and a few other stores, you can get some non-perishable food delivered to you from those stores, and they will ship them. Of course, the two major companies are three is Walmart, Amazon, and yes, Target, Home Depot, and Lowe's as well, but they don't stock food. Target stocks food, and Walmart stocks food, and all these, I believe, they stock food as well. So you've got all these stores now focusing on an online presence because of, one, it's cheaper for them. Two, there's not easily robbed by flash mobs or crooks. And unfortunately, there will be a flash mob, a porch pirates coming soon. You can count on that. And they're going to do the same thing. They're going to come in and they're going to raid people's mailboxes looking for things that they can sell. They already do. So that's one reason I have to keep my eye out for anything valuable in my mailbox. That's one reason I like to know. Well, they are expensive, Krista. I will go there. They are expensive. But I do know about the transgender fiasco. But maybe Target is going to have to try to refocus their business and leave the transgender to somebody else, because they need to focus on the main core of the business, which is sales. Don't worry about the transgender business. There's plenty of transgender stuff out there. In fact, a lot of Americans have agreed that this woke stuff is going to go. It's killing the World of Warcraft. I didn't even talk about this. The Dragon Plate has gotten so woke, it's sick. It's not. I can't even really play it. I really can't. I'm going to Dragonflight and they're turning the game into a cash shop. When they say cash, I mean literally cash. They will sell you gold for cash. So, in other words, you can buy what they call tokens that you can then bring to the auction house in exchange for gold. It's really, really kind of stupid because it's just like, why are you doing this? Oh, and everything is so focused on woke and being nice and furry, warm fuzzies. Guys, it's supposed to be a combat game. What the heck is it? Why are you gonna have dragons that look like cute, big, nice, lovely little lizards? They're all sweet. They're supposed to be ferocious looking. Come on. I can't even play World of Warcraft retail anymore. I feel like I watched, and then there's stories like even in oh my god, what was it? Shadowlands. You had two angels in Carrion that were lovers, two women lesbians, and I was like, oh, this is cool. I can understand that to a point, but don't turn the whole story to that, okay? I mean, I respectfully respect people's choices, who they're going out with. I don't have a problem with that. But the thing is if you don't have a good storyline, it ain't gonna wash, okay? It ain't gonna wash. I stack a couple of targets and I refuse to write anything there. Matter of fact, sometimes I take stuff off the shelves and throw it away. Swimsuits to tuck back kids. Yeah, why would they need to do that? They don't even need to make special swimsuits to do this. They really don't. Okay, maybe somebody get a really big one. Maybe they need something a little more supportive. But that's why you have jock straps. What do you need? You don't even need to write special outfits. This is stupid. Well, what did they get did they get swimsuits for girls that basically try to give them a flat chest? I mean, depending on the age of the girl, she probably already is still flat chested, right? But I mean, it's discouragingly sad how this world has gotten so crazy. In less than a couple of years, you have gotten into the. I mean, I respectfully understand the situation after Stonewall in the 70s and the 80s with the gay community. I don't have a problem with that for the most part. And especially in my early years, I didn't have a problem with it. But nowadays, as I get older, as more and more companies are trying to pick up on the gay agenda, I tend to go, are we going to a little bar right now? And you have to worry about things like what you just mentioned about swimwear. It's specialized. It's specifically to do a something similar as a gaft does. A gaft basically many jack straps can. I'm not even talking about the hard cup ones. I mean they can pull everything back. It's what they do. Or it's still. I really. Walmart is killing it. The sales quadrupled, and their online sales probably. Absolutely. Walmart online sales have been very good. They're not as powerful or influential as Amazon, but they are definitely doing it. They're definitely holding on, especially on the online. They would get bailout if they needed one. Maybe. I don't know, guys. Some of the stuff, though, as I said here about the news, just really makes me question the integrity of humanity. One person pointed out that most of the modern younger people today, because of our failing education system, are not able to properly read and write. Despite the fact that you have to read and write on social media, at least somewhere, it turns out that the American public schools, especially in inner cities, have really failed the kids. And it's sad. It really is sad that the public school system is failing the kids. In fact, some of those people that are sitting there saying that they want to fight for the public schools, private school their own kids. They don't necessarily send them to public schools, and yet they advocate for public schools. Why are you being a hypocrite? If you really truly believe in public schools, send your kids there, because they know better. They know what's going on with the public schools. All right. Also, Walmart has been working with the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA. Some of the abandoned Walmarts are actually being used as FEMA camp areas, as reserves, so that they can go ahead and use the abandoned Walmarts for FEMA camp operations. You may not know that, but it's true. They have they work with the federal government in that area. So what do you do? Well, what do you do with this crazy world? Oh, I have not heard any more from Frontier about negotiating with my said landlord to drop fiber optic cables onto the building. I wonder if Jimmy is sitting there shaking his head going, what is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? What do I need this for? What's fiber? What's fiber? What's fiber? That's what he's saying to himself. What is this? No, why do you need fiber? Why do you have to come into my building? Get cable. No, whatever. But I can tell you right now is because of the way the wiring was put in when they put phone service in this building back in the 30s, they run the big cable trunk through his basement. Well, you just mount the demarcation point on the back of the building like the cable company did. There you go. Problem solved. I don't know. Jimmy doesn't understand computer technology that well. I could sit there all day trying to explain to him. He'll probably be like going one ear and out the other. Hitting the face a few times, bouncing back into the same ear it came out of, slapped me in the face. I just gave up on that. I was like, what a waste of time. The Thing starring, okay. The Thing. I remember the Thing movie. I remember that. So, too many. The thing is right now, I'm going to make a quick bathroom run. I'll be right back. And, like I said, the movie should be in the movie section. I do look at it over there. I'll be right back. Just got to go take a quick pee. Okay. Make sure my sound's working. Yep. Okay. Um. So they would just get too many big wigs for 401k plans. Yeah. Okay. For people watching, it's not really a lot going on right now. So what I wanted to do is see if we can get some players to join me in a World of Warcraft video game session. Now I'm gonna be honest when I say this, that most of the games except for World of Warcraft I play are single player games. City Skyline is single player. The Sims 5 is not out yet. That's supposed to be multiplayer. And I don't know if that's gonna happen when you play multiplayer in Sims 5. You're gonna be able to like decide to make people do stupid stuff to make interactive. I don't know. Good question. So World of Warcraft retail is free up to level 20 because Human Body was asking me about this. So you can play up to level 20 for free. Unfortunately, you cannot be in a group after you get done with Exile's Reach. You have to only play single player from level 10. You come out of Exile's Reach at level 10. And then up to level 20. And then after that, you have to subscribe. But I mean, it still give you an idea of the proof. It's $15.95 a month. Okay, this chair. I gotta get some of the casters on this chair. This chair is terrible. So if you want to go play Exiles, World of Warcraft retail, that's fine. But I find that if I'm going to play a game, I'm going to play either classic Wrath of the Lich King or classic vanilla / classic. There is a proposal out now to create Classic Plus. Classic Plus is going to possibly come out after Classic Cataclysm. So it supposedly expands on the original Classic story, which is never been quite completely finished when they went to Wrath of the Lich King. Also, Chris Metzen has returned to the World of Warcraft as the creative director for the game. He's a director. He's going to be the executive director for the game. He's one of the main creators of the original World of Warcraft Classic, as it originally was known as World of Warcraft, the old school stuff. Old school classic and classic hardcore have been doing great, but unfortunately modern has totally fizzled, in part because of the woke feeling of the game, and on top of the fact that the storylines are so old and staid. But then classic vanilla was old and staid too. It came out in 2004. The 2024 will be the 20th anniversary of World of Warcraft. So it's going to be interesting to see if they're planning something for the classic, whatever you call it, Classic Plus. Well, I mean, I'm interested to see how this is going to go. And we'll have our original High Elves, and we'll have them. Things like that. I did not know the backstory of the Night Elves, which turns out the Night Elves weren't exactly the nice tree-loving people that we know today. They were, for a while, very much into colonialism and trying to have world domination, which in World of Warcraft 3. And I did not know that story. Warcraft 3 is available also for the Mac. Unfortunately, it's not cheap. It's like $24.90, like $19, $20 for a subscription for Warcraft 3 Reforged. Right now I got bigger fish to fry than worrying about buying another game subscription. Winter is coming. I keep saying this. Better stack up. You better have a jacket. You better have clubs. You better keep warm because it's telling you so. It's going to be cold in the East Coast this year, and you're going to want to be ready for that because you think you talk about how nice you have central heating and all that. The only thing is to find ourselves that our gas and oil bills are going to be nasty because of reasons of that we are importing a lot of imported fuel. Biden's now being told that they need to push getting people more to drill for more oil, which his energies are really isn't really in the mood for. Just weird. It's just weird. The energy czar is not really like wanting to encourage more domestic oil production, and this energy czar still wants to push what you can cook on in your kitchen and telling you that you're going to have certain types of stoves, you're going to have certain kinds of toasters, or you can have certain kinds of refrigerators and boilers and heating systems, and it's getting crazy. Okay, I mentioned it this morning. Again, like I said this morning, a lot of this is pushed by these lobbyists working for these PACs or PACs, which those are public action committees that are trying to push certain agendas through the World Economic Forum into the home and into American communities, and it's just not working. Because right now, for example, Ford is, I think it was GM, is like, I'm sorry, we're not going to keep pushing these electric cars. This is getting stupid. We don't really want to do that. But on top of that, with the strike that's ongoing of the United Auto Workers Union, I don't know if they would be able to make any more electric cars right now until they resolve the strike, which is what? What are they going to do? We can't, realistically, we can't have any more electric cars. We don't have the infrastructure there because the fact is that Obama as well, but definitely Biden's been pushing this ever so much more so. It's been pushing the idea of the green energy initiative. The problem is the Green New Deal is not going to work at this point as our infrastructure is not ready. It takes a long time to upgrade infrastructure of a country to support all this new stuff: electric energy for cars, electric energy for kitchen stoves, electric water heaters, electric heat pumps, whatever. Okay, it's costing a lot more money. And so there's concern that our power grid could blow a fuse because it's not going to be able to meet all the demand, and especially if they've been shutting down coal-fired power plants and natural gas-fired power plants and trying to say we need to go to all green infrastructure, and it's just not going to happen anytime soon. Looks like you need to buy a new jacket, Michelle. Make sure their jacket is washed. Yeah, I do need a heavier jacket than that. I got one, but most people can't afford to buy an electric car anyway. By the way, Garage 54 did that. I forgot who his name was. I forgot the name of the guy was. He took a motor out of a Lada and he put a bicycle chain on it so he could pedal the car like a giant full-size pedal car. The problem was he was going up a hill in town and he just couldn't get enough traction couldn't get enough torque to the wheels to move it. So he ended up basically having to put his feet on the ground on his shoes to push the car the rest of the way because he couldn't get up the hill. Which is really funny thinking about it. But electric cars really have got to come down in price in a lot of ways. Number one, there's the safety issue. I already mentioned that cobalt is mined in South Africa, often in mining conditions that are totally inappropriate and inhumane. And on top of that, you still got the polluting process of basically putting fresh water into the ground to then cause the lithium to float up to the surface, which then settles in settling pools, which is lithium oxide, which then has to be processed with other chemicals to make the lithium ion battery, which is a highly energy intensive process. And never mind the fact that the electrolyte can easily get into thermal runaway and cause the battery to catch fire because it has its own natural oxygen supply from the battery. When it overheats, it starts to liberate the oxygen, and you already get combustible electrolyte, and then it just takes slow heat, and all of a sudden you've got a major conflagration in your hand that could seriously cause a lot of damage. This has already seen this already happen. Deb said, I can afford one, but I already had a Power Wheels car when I was a kid. I don't want one now. All right. Pretty much that's what it would be. The full-size Power Wheels car. Yeah. Besides, unfortunately, the problem with electric vehicles is they don't have the range. Now, range is pretty interesting to think about. And the fact is, even if you can get 300, 400 miles to a charge, the fact is it's not a very efficient charging system. There's loss, there's waste. And let's just, again, the electric grid can't handle it in the United States. And so therefore the power grid is at the mercy of basically falling away, blowing a fuse, because it can't generate enough electricity. Okay, because we need fossil fuels to be a feasible way to produce enough energy to run the car. So I think this whole green initiative, sorry, Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, but your Green New Deal is no deal. It's not going to happen. Not the way you want it to. Not this soon. Give it maybe about 20 years or more R&D, and maybe it might be a thing. Remember, until we had LED light bulbs, we were using other technologies to produce light for homes. We had fluorescent light fixtures, the big long tube ones. We had the compact fluorescents, the original ones had a fluorescent starter and were preheat based and weighed a ton. Then we got the new electronic ballast ones that we all know of today. Those, became kind of hated because of the crazy curly Q shape. It didn't fit into a lot of fixtures. Unfortunately, some of the electronics would fail and they would catch fire, and they did, and they burned houses down. So now we got the LEDs what we have now. They don't last till 30, 40 years everyday use. But then again, they say the average run time of 4 hours a day. You can calculate how many hours and 4 hours a day for a LED bulb for 30 years, even 5 years would be nice. Actually, the bulb in my kitchen is over 5 years. It's almost about 10 years old, and it still works fine. And that's an LED bulb that's been in there. So the original LED bulb I had in my apartment here when I first bought it, when I first moved in, to replace the incandescent bulb that was in there originally. We also had a curly Q CFL in there too, which we got rid of because frankly the sucker didn't work as well and was just too long to warm up, and decided, no, this isn't going to cut it. This bulb, this works light for the studio, is also an LED. This is an LED over here on this lamp, and they have worked fine. We used to use 300-watt incandescent bulbs, one in each fixture, this one and this one, and it would be 600 watts of heat coming straight at you. In the wintertime when it's cold, that's nice, but in the summertime, it wasn't nice. Trust me, this room would be hot. It was already hot when R11H30 did this video with me. I am snuggling, and we had those bulbs on. We had 2 300-watt bulbs on, and they were cooking the place. We still have them. Of course, they just stored away in the boxes so we can put them back in if we ever need to, which I don't think we will. Yeah. So, unfortunately, that's probably not going to happen. Would you want to have to keep going to the NRC every year to get re-registered? Yeah, it would be really expensive. So, nuclear cars. I mean, the Russians came up with nuclear power plant originally. That were big enough to provide power for many towns, but the problem is that scrappers over the years have scrapped a lot of materials and got exposed to the uranium in the plants, and the next thing you know, people are dying from radiation poisoning. So that was a great idea, but not very safe. And they're great out in space where no one's going to touch stuff. I'm sure, hopefully, there's ETs, and when they intercept the satellites, are going to hopefully be smart enough to know how to properly dispose of it, but you never know. But there is a new, technologies. As I said, I mentioned lithium batteries. Now, solid state lithium batteries are still pretty much in infancy. These are batteries that don't have an electrolyte. They don't have that risk of busting open and exploding and catching fire because they're solid ceramic batteries, which means that there is no liquid electrolyte and they don't suffer from thermal runaway. But it's just something that yet is not quite ready for mass production, although they are working on it. The use of SSD, solid state storage, as I pointed out, my Mac Mini, like many new laptops and desktops, are using SSDs to store software. And it's fast when it starts out, and it works great. But unfortunately, it seems that SSD's technology has got to continue to improve to get rid of the situation where failure from writes on an SSD are destructive. They just damage the cell inside. If they are working on higher, longer lasting ones that are being used in some servers, but they're more expensive. So SSD technology is also a thing that's going to be evolving as well. So we're going to be seeing, hopefully, in about 5 years, we're going to have SSDs with long program erase cycles or terabytes written or TVWs. Right now, that's one of the reasons why I was told to make sure for my Mac Mini to get no less than a 512 gigabyte SSD. It only keep it about 50% full, because that's the way the TVW, the thing can have more cells to mark as bad before the whole SSD is a giant crispy cookie. You can just have to desolder with a hot air tool and then replace it with a new one after you reball it. So I mean, it's a reality. It's a reality. People don't really understand that, but computers, consumables have them. They do, and the SoCs may last for decades, but the SSDs on them will not. So that's a sad reality. However, I have not yet heard of anybody with a Mac Mini mentioning a significant SSD failures, either from the PowerPC. I mean, PowerPC might as well mention too, right? People put SSDs in the PowerPC Mac Minis too. From any of the Mac Minis or MacBooks, I have not seen a huge number of them failing. Of course, there is advantages. They don't use a lot of power. They're quiet. They're much less likely to be affected by vibration and shock and droppage. So they'll keep working. But the day is going to come when you will have to replace the SSDs. And so depending on, Apple should have made it as an easily user replaceable option, since the technology already existed with the M.2 NVMe. There's no reason they could not have kept that. form factor because they could have done it, and then everybody could have the ability to swap out the SSD. But Apple is somebody who likes planned obsolescence, and so therefore I knew that when I bought mine. So I was like, oh, if I can get this computer last 5 years, that'd be amazing. I mean, if worse comes worse, I can always go back my 2009 Mac Pro, which has got hard drives in it, which are spinning mechanical disks of rust, which we all recommend that you should replace those after 10 years too. So, I mean, by the time I replaced them, because they were all new drives when I bought them, they'll probably be, probably about a year 2025, 2029. That's when I'll be replacing drives on the 2009 Mac Pro, which is pretty amazing to think about it. People are still buying the 2009 Mac Pro, and now, of course, they bought the 2009 Mac Can, which is still less capable than mine because it doesn't have PCI slots, and it can't really do a lot with it. The processor is soldered to the board. As far as I understand, you can't really upgrade the CPU because the way it's put on the board. So, just the way it works, I guess. It's sad, but that's the way the industry is going right now. Just like with these monitors, like Paul was mentioning, his flat screen monitor was acting bad. He's ready to chuck it and get a new one. That is becoming a thing, as 12-volt Bids had pointed out. Repairing a flat panel LCD monitor is just not economically worth it to do. Because you can, but you're lucky if you get 5, 10, 15 years tops out of them, and then you just got to buy a new one. So that's a reality. Technology is not built to last. I mean, this is not the 1970s or 60s when technology was made to have long lifespans, especially automobiles is certainly no exception to the rule. It's true that the cars in the 70s and 80s were not really as well made. They didn't have as much long life to them. However, what they did have go for them was easily replaceable parts, which right to repair people are rightfully saying is we need to have the knowledge, the software, and the tools needed to reprogram things to keep our cars running, especially cars after the 1990s. Electronics have been invaded the car to the point where one module runs everything from the emissions, ignition, and then even turns on your headlights, maybe controlled by the computer in the dashboard. And some, of course, companies are like, sorry, we're not giving you information how to access our bus, the car CAN bus. We're not going to tell you how to fix this because digital linear copyright access, I don't have to, because that would be reverse engineering, which is patently illegal under the MCA, under Section 1201. Again, this is where things get crazy in the industry. And it's still affecting everybody to this day. Well, it looks like everybody's getting ready to wrap up. And we're down to 2. So I think we had a good show. I did answer some questions. I'm sorry it wasn't a major show and a lot of exciting questions being answered. But I do want to thank you all for coming. Next week, we'll do the same thing on Saturday at 3 o'clock. We're going to have a 3 o'clock show, subscribers only chat. And then it's so easy to subscribe. Just subscribe and then check out the other videos and playlists. We have so many. We have 3,500 videos. You can check them all out. And I want to thank you all for coming here to this show. So for now, you all have a nice day. Bianca, I will try to be on your show at 10 o'clock. Okay? I will do my best. For now, see you guys later. Have a good afternoon, or good morning, or good night. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, guys.